look what started here in Oklahoma City. We've got snow falling, visibility down to a mile, and the temperature is 19 degrees. A lot going on with Winter Storm Quantum. We've got it all covered for you right here on Weather Center Live. And thanks for joining us today. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Kate Parker. We're in the lab this morning. We're joined by Mike Bettis here, the man in the middle. February, this month, my goodness, could it just ever end? It's storm after storm after storm.
People that are going through it are like, come on already. Like, spring cannot get here soon enough. We got some interesting things happening this morning in Dallas-Fort Worth, that's for sure, including thunder sleet and thunder snow. We're going to show you a very unique 3D view of it, how it's very relatable to springtime, where that's still to come this morning.
All right, we're finally beginning to see things return to normal. Today, most of the commuter train lines are back up and running.
And Reynolds Wolf is in Somerville with a look at how things are going this morning. Reynolds, my man, you have been, you were in Quincy yesterday where folks were talking about keeping their businesses open, keeping everything running. Is it more hopeful there today?
Carfagno, we are watching Winter Storm Quantum bring that snow to Oklahoma City, bring sleet and ice into Texas, and a lot of folks are waking up to find their cars covered with ice in northern Texas. That is where Winter Storm Quantum is really doing its worst right now.
It's left a lot of the roads and interstates covered in just icy mess. Police in Denton, Texas, this is just north of Dallas-Fort Worth, trying to determine if ice is what caused this 18-wheeler to crash on Interstate 35.
Right now, here's the latest on Winter Storm Quantum. An SUV driver dies after losing control and crashing into an 18-wheeler on President George Bush Turnpike in Carrollton, Texas this morning. A snowfall record of 4.3 was set in Dalhart, Texas on Sunday. That's nearly double the previous record set back in 1973.
Not only were we seeing the reports of snow and ice in Texas, but New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Louisiana Departments of Transportation reporting snowy, icy conditions. Schools in New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi. All of those states were either delayed or closed by Quantum today. And that snow and freezing rain, the sleet as well, spreading across the south today. Near Dallas, we've already seen reports of more than an inch of sleet on the ground. In fact, on the west side of there, 2 inches of sleet. Thanks to thunder sleet.
We've got our Mike Seidel live in nearby Irving, Texas. So, Mike, have you seen any cars spinning out there today? And Mike, I think tomorrow morning we're going to have some of the same issues because we'll still be below freezing. In fact, we don't get those numbers above the freezing mark until tomorrow afternoon. So we look at the timing so you can plan your day. Today, we're still dealing with the freezing rain and the sleet in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. From west to east, it will end this afternoon. And so for the evening rush, it's not that you'll have any additional precipitation, but we will be dealing with temperatures sub-freezing. Again, afternoon tomorrow is when we get above that. In fact, speaking of west to east, let's track it all for you. For travelers on I-20, this really is an I-20 ice storm, whether it's sleet or freezing rain, you're dealing with that. We track it east through the day today, watching East Texas, northern Louisiana, also watching into Mississippi. And I'll tell you what, from Jackson over to Birmingham, it's going to be a close call as we get into the overnight hours. A lot of the precip is going to be wrapping up by this point or east south of here. However, you've got that chance for icing this evening into Jackson and perhaps overnight tonight in Birmingham. And then we've got cold, a lot of cold to talk about. And so, Kate, that's a big story, is that we've got in Texas, the ice, and then the cold that's not going to let it melt, and then more cold coming in this week.
It's a continued issue, but you know what the good part is? That we're not expecting these significant ice accumulations that would cause power outages. So in North Texas, you know, any ice is going to make your driving really hazardous, and we're not just, you know, talking about heading out on I-20 or getting on I-35, but if you are just driving to the grocery store, you're going to have travel problems, but I don't think we're going to have power outage issues.
I think that's a great point. So, you know, maybe there's a few minor issues, but this is not a power outage storm. This is a driving storm. So this is one that's going to affect the roads and the interstates.
And that's where we're going to see the biggest problems. I'm going to ask Jessica if she can go ahead and advance these for us because this doesn't seem to be working for me. But it does look like we are going to keep that cold. It is just going and going and going. It is not going to stop. And it's one of these things that you want the warmer air in place. You want to, spring is so close we can taste it, less than a month away. You're just not getting it quite yet. No. There's a look at some of that icing. Okay, from Denton down through the Metroplex, The pink that you're seeing here, this is really sleet, and we saw thunder sleet as well.
Well, I was still seeing it right now, actually down around Corsicana. We are looking at some lightning bolts showing up there on our tracker. We track this all east. We still have the snow to track too, I-40 from Oklahoma City, eventually getting into Little Rock. We'll be dealing with it today.
We typically like to talk about the ice a little more because it's typically a lot more dangerous, but the snow, obviously, to your point, still a dangerous situation, especially along 40 into Little Rock. Look at tonight, though. Northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, freezing rain potential, and that could mean tomorrow morning whenever you wake up, you need to go ahead and change those plans because the roads, any ice on them, they're not safe.
Yeah, really Shreveport, Jackson, even in northern Alabama, I'd make sure you check with your schools to see if there are any delays tomorrow morning, and including the Atlanta area too. There is a chance overnight tonight that we'll be dealing with this.
This is one of those things. It does. It makes me cringe. It makes me feel a little bit nervous.
It's a marginal event here. I don't think marginal, but the temperatures are so close.
This is going to be another close call for Atlanta, but it's that morning commute that could be a really big problem. All right, let's go out to Mike Bettis in the lab. He's going to talk a little more about what we have going on this late week.